Alright, welcome guys. First episode. This is just gonna be like a get to know me, maybe help you understand why I feel inclined to tell my story. But I want to read this to you because I need to get practice on my introduction. And like I said, I'm taking you guys with me every step of the way because I'm learning how to do this. I'm not technically savvy. Even though I went to college and did a Microsoft class, I still am not technically savvy, but I'm working on it, okay? That's why we're out here, is because I could not get... My daughter's going to help me get my mic set up and put my computer where I want it to go. But anyways, so welcome to Rising from the Ashes podcast, where we break the silence around addiction, trauma, and the raw realities of being a young mom. I am Kim, your host, and this is my story. I was 11 when I had my first cigarette, and I was 13 when an adult gave me my first hard drug. I became a mom at 16 while still trying to survive a childhood filled with neglect, abuse, and fear. This podcast is about the truth, mine, and others. So many others who found their way out one day at a time. And I'm doing that because there are so many different things to be addicted to. If you've even just been a family member of an addict, substance abuse disorder, alcoholism, you've definitely seen that when you're active, you are willing to do things you normally would never do. Your morals go out the window. But I want to start back when I was a kid. My childhood, I don't know if you could truly call it a childhood. My mom obviously was a single mom of 3. She worked 2 jobs, 3 jobs, never home. My oldest sister lived in a different town. And my father is not okay. Even though, because he has been to Warm Springs, which is a mental institution, jail. The craziest thing for me, though, is I have blocked out a lot of my childhood. As I learn my nervous system and trauma responses, my cats, I did not stand a chance. I remember a lot of partying that my family would do. Drinking, a lot of drinking. This was back in the early 90s. So things were very different at that time. In my childhood, we were never inside. We were outside riding bikes. We were outside at the pond, the frog pond. We were always outside. I remember always being at the Civic Center with my grandfather because that was my safe space until he died. I know I blocked out a lot of things because they are just that traumatic. And I know it's my nervous system trying to protect me. So as I go through these episodes, these are things that I'm hoping will slowly unlock and slowly remember. Because I want people to, first of all, not feel guilt for things that were out of your control. Childhood, we're supposed to be kids. Go to school. Play outside. Be a kid. I can remember the day my uncle used to be the sheriff in the town that I grew up in. And I remember the day my biological father threw a brick through our big pane window in our living room because he was coming over to talk to my mom to see if I could go with him. He broke this window and tried kidnapping me. I remember that very vividly. I remember hearing him scream because my uncle's the one that came and arrested him. And where we lived, the jail was right across the street. And I remember. I remember, like, the chances that my mom did give him, some were okay. I'm not gonna lie. Some moments were okay. But that was when my grandpa Don and my grandma Peg, my grandma Kay, was around. And you're gonna notice that I felt safe, most safe, with my grandparents, my aunt, and my other grandparents. My Aunt Dee, she was my safe space. And her passing away in that time of my life was also very traumatic. I lost 3 very important people to me in a very short amount of time. I think that I have wanted to, for so long, speak my truth and say my truth and tell my truth, but I've been afraid to do that because of the people that will maybe feel offended or guilt or shame. That's why you're probably not going to hear a lot of names, but if you know me, you can probably guess and assume, right? So, like I said, in the early 90s, things were very different. We didn't have the internet. You know, we still had phones that had cords attached to the wall and those such things. And man, when I was with my grandma and my grandpa, I felt so safe. They would take me out to the ranch, and I just had access to all these acres and all these beautiful horses. And I would just want to be there all the time. All the time. Even though my dad was around, my grandma watched me so closely that it still made me feel safe. I still felt safe. Even though my father sexually abused me when I was little. And those are the traumatic things that I'm talking about. Like, my brain has locked away or blocked out. But I remember the examination. I remember a lot of people molesting me. And I don't know. I just think that the nervous system is such a crazy thing because it can literally just take memories, and because it knows you're not ready to relive it. And this all is going to be hard for me to relive. Because like I said, after I lost the most important people to me, I was so lost. And I just wanted to be numb. So I dabbled in everything as a 13-year-old. I literally, it didn't matter. Use me, do it, just didn't matter. I wanted to feel anything other than loss and grief. My grandfather, Dick, was